Well, good morning, Johnson County. I'm Tiffany Carlen with Nona Reed here on JoCo Vibes. A little bit of a delayed start this morning due to apparently power going out last night.
Right.
Which caused a few challenges of just technology. Just is what it is. Is what it is when you're a streaming radio station. We're not out on the normal airways. We're on the better airways, I just want to say.
Right.
But challenges like this, and it helps us figure out, okay, what can we do to make this better? And although it gets a little frustrating at first, ultimately, that's really what it does, is it helps us figure out, okay, we got a few more things to figure out as to how we can make things better. So good morning.
Right. Good morning.
So we got about 7 minutes until we go to break. It's a quick break anyway, but
yeah.
Good morning. Hope everybody had an amazing weekend. And I hope you had an amazing Monday start to the week.
Yes.
I did. Happy Halloween for people who, I guess, it's so weird to say Happy Halloween in a way. It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hope you, yeah.
It's just a different.
Okay. So
I hope you had fun.
Nail salon next door says closed for a holiday. I mean, is there a Chinese or Japanese
in Asian? I don't know what Asian holiday it is. Is it their New Year? I can't remember.
And it's November 1st, so I don't know.
Their New Year is different, and so
right, I know that.
I'm really not sure. So are you coming in here? No, I was just gonna say, why not? Just talk about it Tuesday.
We always talk about it.
I just got the eye roll for my sister, like, oh, okay.
Well,
I mean, I'm here.
She's like,
I'm like, come chat
I came
with us.
to work, not get on the radio with y'all.
Well, we only got 30 minutes today, 36 minutes. No, I already changed it.
Oh, it's changed.
It's changed. Okay. I just didn't I just didn't reload the screen.
I was pointing it out quietly.
Oh, I know. Well, I fixed it.
Hey,
anyway,
early voting has started, people.
No, early voting just ended.
No, it ends on Friday, on the 4th.
On the 4th? I thought it ended today. Yesterday.
I pulled it up yesterday. It said to the 4th.
No, 8th is the election day.
8th is election day. 3rd was last year or 2-3 years ago.
Got to kick a mic on for her.
Oh, yep. Let's see, 5,
4,
3, 2, 1.
Right.
And you're
good
on.
Morning.
I'm gonna eat my breakfast.
Go ahead. My sister Tamara Payne's joining the table because she happens to be working from here today. Surprise! Good to see you.
I'm going to the Reach Coalition luncheon.
Yes. So am I. Oh. I'm glad you're joining.
Stop following me.
Well, I am their media partner, so it's kind of.
Well, I've been getting the emails. It's just I've had something going on for the last.
Well, I'm glad you're making this
months.
one.
I
have to tell you, this is the thing about Reach.
Been in a couple of months now.
Well, but we haven't been around. We've been out of town for each one. But one of the things that they've talked about is how involved the other city leadership has been in all the meetings. Alvaredo's been showing up, the city council members, the police chief, and so we need Burleson's leadership to step in and be a part of the Reach Coalition. So.
Well, they met. I had them meet with the mayor and the city manager, and me.
Good. Oh, when did that happen?
Earlier this year.
Oh, yeah, that was so. And somewhat of a conversation about the smoke-free ordinance.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We got some.
Why was I saying sorry there?
Because it was loud.
Sorry, people.
All right. So before we go to the break, should we do our word of the week? Our focus word of the week?
Yes, we should.
This is a book, if you're joining us for the first time, by Clear Cherry Reeves. And we do this in the beginning of the week, how one word a week will transform your life. and I never read it before the show starts because I also like to take the same learning tidbits at the same time that you get them. So the focus word for this week is create. According to grace of God given to me, like a skilled master builder, I laid a foundation and someone else is building upon it. Let each one take care how he builds upon it. That's 1 Corinthians 3:10 if you are a Bible reader. The focus tip for the word of the week is this week, have fun connecting your faith with your creativity. You can hand letter a scripture, paint a picture of your favorite nature scene, or write your very own devotional and talk to God throughout the process, letting your creative juices flow and growing in your connection with your Heavenly Father. And again, that's if you're
Nice.
a believer. And if you're not a believer and want to know more, reach out to someone who already believes, or I never want to say just go randomly open up the Bible, and because the Bible can be very intimidating and also confusing if you've never read it before. So anyway, I don't know what's going on.
It's even confusing to people who have read it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I've heard them even say that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you. So I have several Jewish friends, and we talk about the Bible. And one thing, because they read mostly the Old Testament, not the New Testament, but they're like, we'll read the New Testament, and there's so much lessons in there about life that if you just read it and try to grasp it, like read it like a book. So I say that in a way that is another way for you, if you don't know Jesus and you're just interested, read it like a book. And what lessons can you get? That's
kind of what the boys are doing on Tuesday nights.
They're
just reading, going through, I think they've done
scripture by scripture and
John
and reading it.
And
I think they've started they've done Colossians, they've done Corinthians, I don't think they've done Galatians yet. He's kind of hopping around, but that's okay.
But I mean, they're reading. Yeah.
And if you do, not the old English version, what's the
new, it's just the new English.
One, yeah. So it's just much more understandable. It is difficult to read in the language of which it was written in and or interpreted.
Hold that mic close to you.
So if you take it into the simpler language and
out of the Latin,
right, but you put it into the words of like, this is your home, protect your home. It's not just the new version. I'm going to look it up on my
look it up.
We're on break.
Yeah, while we're on break, look that up. Yeah. So we're going to come back in and we're kind of going to recap all the fun things that happened this past weekend across Johnson County. And I got to tell you about this awesome new coffee and wine bar in Joshua, if you've not been there yet. And we're going to talk about them when we come back from the break and give you all their new hours, because they have new hours that started today. And they accommodated us and opened up on a normally closed day, which was yesterday, so that we could have our board meeting for Miss Johnson County. So the Miss JoCo title's coming up too. So we'll be back after this break.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie, how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I would rather have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my girl. I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities.
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
Bye, I love you too.
With Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat? Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com. That's JOCO for Johnson County. TuneInJoCo.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store for JoCo Community Radio. Check out our lineup and more at JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. Get them in your corner before the next storm hits. And be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. That's THETIFFIE.com. That's where you can find Tiffy sleeves, the Forever scarf. They are all made in the USA, women's accessories to make delayering easier for you. Or layering easier for you. Welcome back to the second half of
Delayering sounds so
delayering, right? Welcome back to the second half of JoCo Vibes. I'm Tiffany Carlen with Nona Reed, and Tamara Payne is joining us at the table this morning just because we dragged her in here and she walked in the door. So that's just kind of what happens. If you walk in the door here, you may or may not get dragged on the radio. So yesterday we had the pleasure of having a breakfast meeting. And that would be the board members for Miss Johnson County Organization, Miss Johnson County Scholarship Organization at Three Rivers Coffee Company in Joshua. And if you have not been there yet, you really need to go. It is so cute in there.
Yeah.
The prices are absolutely reasonable. So I got an 8-ounce cup, an 8-ounce cappuccino. And that was it was less than $3.
Mm-hmm.
Where can you get a cup of coffee for that price?
Funny. Right now, specifically,
Yes.
nowhere.
Right. So
Except Three Rivers.
Right.
That's awesome.
Very reasonably priced. So cute in there. And in the back part, there's a wine bar.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
It's super just,
cute. It's
cute and cozy. And in the back, it's just, it's a little darker. The mood, kind of changes. But I had a sausage and egg bagel sandwich. The girls had some other stuff too.
So they do serve a little bit of food.
They do,
not
yeah.
a lot, just a little,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. And
there's a
sandwiches.
lunch, small little lunch special. I mean,
Love
lunch-
that.
Like a chicken
So do they
pesto,
stay
chicken-
open later for the wine?
So here is their new hours,
got new hours.
starting today. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, they are open from 7 a.m. to noon only. So Monday,
makes
Tuesday, and
sense.
Wednesday, they just do breakfast and lunch.
Love that.
Thursdays, they're open from 7 a.m. to noon, and then they close until 3 and reopen until 9. So they give themselves a little bit of a break and then open back up for the evening, wine drinkers. And then because Thursdays seem to be like the day, the weekend, the new weekend day that started like 20 years ago.
It is.
Just,
When
it
you're
did.
single,
It really did.
Every day is.
Fridays, it's the same thing. Well, Fridays at 7 a.m. to noon, and then they close again until 3 p.m. and then they're open till 10. So they stay open 1 hour
Friday
later
and
on
Saturday,
Friday night.
probably. Or
Saturday is not. They're open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Oh, all day.
Yep.
yeah,
all
that
day.
makes sense because they can. That's people would
Right.
come in all day for something
Right.
like that.
Absolutely. Especially if you have people coming in who are they're tourists. So if you're driving up and down 174 and you're checking out all of Johnson County, how cool would it be that any time of the day you could stop in, have a little snack, have
I
a
would
glass of wine
love-
or a cup of
Mhm.
coffee,
I
right?
would love to have something like that here.
I said
I-
yogurt.
Something like that's coming
I really would. I think
on East
I
Renfro.
miss Divine Wine.
I do too.
I miss
I
Divine
do.
Wine. One, I loved the owners. They were lovely, lovely women. But I missed just there was a bit of it was just a place to kind of wind down and
Or we
to
could
go
just-
and visit with girlfriends
Yeah.
and couples went there too as well. But I do miss that. 'Cause
Working lunches.
just having the chance to go have a drink that's not in a bar
Yeah.
and not in a restaurant
Mhm.
that is I don't want to say more feminine because I think I like hanging out with my husband at a wine bar as well. But I guess I love Winehouse in Fort Worth, which is
Mhm.
right across the street
Right.
from my
Yes.
office, and it's just a lovely place to go have great wine, by the way.
Mhm.
And their wine is on tap at Winehouse.
Yes. Or you can buy by the bottle too, though.
You can, and you can buy beer. They have very limited beer, like specialty beers, on tap as well.
Really quick, Three Rivers Coffee is closed on Sundays. So, and I do love that they actually
And
close
again,
on
that makes
Sundays.
sense. I
Mhm.
completely agree
Yeah.
with that.
Close-
I do. I love that.
I'd
Good.
like to see more businesses close on Sunday like it used to be a traditional
Mhm.
Sunday where people had Sunday
with their
to
family,
whether it
and
was
church.
to go to church or to worship or to just have a day with family, and it was very limited things were open, and you could it forced you
to relax.
to relax, and that's because what Sunday's supposed to be. So now, I miss that. I miss that driving through, the small towns in New Jersey, and the only thing that was really open was the grocery
Mhm.
store.
Right.
That was it.
I remember
So,
those
and then
days
it just slowly they found a way to, we can make this another shopping day and we'll open up, and it just
But they'll
greed.
still
It's just-
shop the next day.
I
by
know
the way,
exactly.
It's the thing is that the money will still be made by the
Right.
companies. It's just going to be the next day.
Do you know it's the only thing I wish that was actually open right now on Sundays is car dealerships. That's the only thing that I wish was actually open on a Sunday, because it seems
It's a
to
lazy
be
day kind of. It's a.
drive through, look at a car,
I don't know. If you're not looking to buy a car, why are you going to a car dealership?
because if I'm looking to trade one in, it's usually the day that
I would rather go look while they're not there and then come back later.
I don't know. It's just one of those
That's
things
me,
where like,
though.
but again, look at that whole industry. They literally close down
Yeah.
on Sundays.
Mhm.
And so you have to appreciate that they do
The
that.
day
So
of rest.
Three Rivers Coffee in
Supposed to
Joshua,
be
and they
good.
do have a location in Waxahachie too, by the
Oh,
way.
cool.
I just wanted to
So,
really
Congratulations
promo
to them. Go
They-
visit
They
them.
opened
Yeah.
I
that
will
just
say-
for us, and it was
Yes.
it was
and
very pleasant.
They have fall specials, just like every coffee house. And so, I was going to be adventurous and try something new. So I asked the girl, what should I try? What is your favorite? She said, the candy corn latte. And I went, I'm not a big fan of candy corn. Like,
I hate candy corn.
I really do not like candy corn.
You guys are insane. I
can't
Let me-
stand the
let
Me and my
texture.
girls
my
love
husband
it.
and my son love candy corn. Haley and I, and I don't know about Justin as much, but Haley and I know just Dalton and yes, Jesse, yes. And so I was like, okay, I'll just be adventurous. Let's go for it. Because she's like, it's not as sweet. It doesn't like really taste like a candy corn, but it's because I can't,
It's a
I'm
fun
a
name.
sweet
It's a
kind of
fun name.
person too. I like sweet stuff. I'm
I
not
do
a big
too.
hard coffee drinker. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. She made a great call.
So she probably named it again for a fall kind of
Mhm.
October-y name.
yeah,
But it's not like it has candy corn in it. It's
Right.
just the
Mhm.
notion of it all.
right.
Right.
I know. That's
Like,
like,
So we do flavored water at the office every week, and Clint
Yes. I
he's
do miss the
very,
flavored
very
water.
creative. Well, guess what he did this week? He goes, yesterday he's like, you have to taste the water. You have to taste the water. And I was like, okay, why? He goes, it tastes like fall.
Oh,
I was like, what? So he tries to be very creative, which I so incredibly appreciate, because he literally Googled flavored water that tastes like fall.
I love it.
and it's got apple slices. It's got cinnamon sticks in it,
Okay.
and then I forget what else.
Did he put any clove? Did he put
I don't
cloves in
remember.
there?
All I know is it was very
It was
subtle,
good.
but it tastes like fall. It's
Okay.
bizarre. It is. I was
And
like,
it was good.
yeah. He's like, oh yeah. He goes, I knew I wanted to make something taste like fall today. I was like, "You're-" and
Love
some
it.
days, some weeks they're hits and misses. Now all the guys there now are trying. They give him feedback and they're like, yeah, that was not so good, but this was a winner. So,
Interesting.
Awesome.
Very
fall.
interesting. I want to tell you something else that I like about, and it's not just the Three Rivers coffee there in Joshua, but where they're, really building up the old town part of Joshua. I love that they're keeping the nostalgic feel.
Joshua or Cleburne?
Joshua.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Inside each of the buildings. And
Yes.
so when I look at what's going on in Old Town, I'm sad to see that that's what we're losing. We are losing the old town, the true old town feeling. Like, I get that they think putting bricks up is just enough to match. I'm sorry. I'm going to ignore the fact that my sister is sitting in the room because I've been thinking about this since I
Some
was
of this
sitting.
stuff she has no
She has no
control.
control over. I know that.
It was done way before.
But I just, because I was sitting there, and that's one of the things I was thinking about when we were sitting there having coffee and having our meeting yesterday, is that's what we're losing, that old town feel in Old Town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And because we're modernizing the brick that's going up. I mean, brick is great, but we're losing the feel of what an old town should really feel like. And so when you are a tourist and you are coming into and hitting all of these old towns across Texas or across whatever state, that's what people are looking for. So I want to appeal to those that care, those that care, those that give a shit. Like if you were to go up to Philly, if you're going to Philadelphia, or if you're going to certain parts of Virginia, where all of the history a lot more of the history is from the Civil War and from like Gettysburg, is one of those places too. They have real old town and historical standards.
Mhm.
And so when they build or anything new or any type of business is coming into any one of those places, everything stays as it was. Everything stays as it was. So like when I look at Old Town here in Burleson, I see a bunch of these older little homes that are in town. Yeah, some could use a little love, but I'd like to see as we grow into Old Town to not see those wiped out, but for some of those to become cute little shops.
Mhm.
Salado, Texas is like that too.
Natchitoches, Louisiana is like that.
Yes.
Well,
Natchitoches
a
is-
lot of areas in Johnson County are like that too. Some need still some help, but they haven't started tearing down things.
Well, I look at
We
Al-
do
Al-
have
Alvarado
Old Town
needs
standards,
help.
and I know that the 2-story building being built across from City Hall has a very kitschy kind of, I hope will turn out looking, I've seen all the renderings, an Old Town feel to it. I would have loved to have kept that building. I will tell you there was so much asbestos in that building
Right.
Oh, yeah.
that it was
Just
not
like
worth
Kerr,
saving. But
Old Kerr.
I forget where I traveled when I was going to Louisiana, not just Natchitoches. I went through a couple of other small towns, and I kind of had noticed that very same thing. There was some new builds, but that they had still a very old feel to it. To me, I feel like what keeps things in that traditional old town feel is keeping with local, smaller owned businesses
Absolutely.
versus chains.
Yeah. Right.
And
They
to
kind of
me-
belong on the they kind of belong on the outskirts. I mean,
I agree.
save the Old Town area for your local small business owners. And that's what people that's what people are looking for when they are coming as a tourist
I agree.
to a small town. And they're like, "Oh, the cute little Old Town area."
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
there's the same chain restaurants we saw in Fort Worth. Well, that's
'cause
kind of a shame.
I'm a big person for like when we're out of town, let's try something new.
I always do. I
We can
always.
have
It's
that
one of the-
when we're in town. I don't want to eat that.
I actually
so-
miss the event space that was above Babes. I mean, it's a great little executive suites now.
Yeah.
But I miss that was a great old haunted
Mhm.
event space. I never felt anything up there, but I remember the tea shop and our sister's baby shower was at the tea shop. She was my caterer for my wedding.
Mhm.
And so that was a great little
Mhm.
place down there. And then the event space was up and it had the big staircase that went up there. So I don't know. I just kind of I miss stuff like that.
Babes is interesting as a chain, and it's not a lot of them, but obviously indoors, that building,
Oh, they kept
they've
it, yeah.
maintained
Absolutely.
everything
Right.
as it was. So
And so has the
everything-
brewery.
yeah, so everything from the game place over, that game building is still an original building. But yeah, I agree, as we grow and we're about to build that station 330.
Yeah, I saw that was already breaking ground.
Yeah, yeah. And he's building that to try to keep an old town kind of
Yes, he
railroady
was.
feel.
I remember
But it's
seeing the
so some of
presentation.
it, there's no choice. You don't have a lot of
Right,
choice
right.
over, right? Others of it, I agree that as we commercialize a little more down there, that we don't lose everything that keeps it.
Yeah. So the
Old Town.
so the big
Mhm.
apartment complex that's going up across the way from Old Town, is that that has a more modern
Oh,
appeal to it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't really fit the
There's
Old Town
no,
feel either.
I'm not going to reveal anything new here, that everyone knows that that is a project that I just absolutely hate. And I think it's going to ruin Old Town, the look. And I'm sorry for all my staff. It's not your fault, but everyone knows I do not believe in this
that
project.
was even a discussion during the whole election.
I just don't.
mean,
I think it's
we
why
were
you would
we were
put
all
a
lied to on that,
4-story
yeah.
apartment in an Old Town area like that is
Mhm.
beyond me.
Well,
Right.
I am sad for the small businesses that are right there in front of it, because they're going to get gobbled up,
and
and
kicked out.
they're already building not just behind those small businesses,
around them.
the Bombshell, there's a motorcycle
Axe.
training class, the Axe place. That's all in one building there, and they're literally building up behind it and then alongside it. And
It just
and to my understanding,
feels
that building's been sold too. So it's literally pushing them right out. And I
Mhm.
think that that's very sad. But guess what? I'll probably end up benefiting from it. So because we're going to be building on East Renfro, and we have places for them to come to. So, and that's already in discussion. So I mean, but I still hate that. I hate that for businesses that wanted to stay in Old Town, and they're gonna get pushed out.
It's kind of one of the reasons that I love where I'm at in Fort Worth on Park Place, is it has that old towny feel.
It does.
It I mean, really legit. The building I'm in was built in the 40s, I think. It's all, one story, kind of cute across, even though it's a strip, it's not a strip center like a mall. And then across the
Right.
street, all of the buildings have their own unique looks because they're separate. There's actually an old firehouse across the street from me, a one garage old firehouse that has been there since the 30s, I believe. The art station is in
The
it.
art station is in it.
Mhm,
Okay. So is the garage,
The door is still there.
is it on the side?
Yeah, it's in the front.
I've never turned that.
No, it's right across the street from my business.
Okay. I
There's
have
a
to-
giant tree in the front yard, and it's beautiful. It's it looks like a house kind of. So it's a little deceptive, but it's lovely. And when you go inside, they have an homage to the old fire station. They have pictures and the trucks and stuff. So it's really, really neat. Although it does make it for a very snug fit in there for them,
Yeah.
because it's a limited space, but it's lovely.
Okay. I never went in there. I only during Arts Goggle, I just was outside talking with them.
Yeah.
So in talking about that, and I just kind of lost my place here. Okay.
I fell asleep 2 minutes ago. It's
Sorry.
okay.
All right. Good. One of the things that I was thinking about was I cannot wait for Alley Cats to be built. That's what I cannot wait for.
So you
Because
can
I am tired of driving to Fort Worth to
'Cause
take
your son
Maximus
loves
bowling.
to bowl.
And I love to bowl too. I bowled on a league until I was in my 20s. I bowled on a league.
Yeah.
And so I bowled in a corporate league, and I played corporate softball as well. And so I played on a league all the way into my 20s and absolutely loved it. And I still love it. And Maximus
I love to
loves
bowl.
it.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
so that's what we did for
My
Halloween.
grandmother was on a league.
Our
his
parents were on a league.
Yeah.
I missed the gray bag. I was thinking about it last night and the gray ball, and I'm like, what happened to it? Where did it go? But so anyway, we had a different kind of Halloween yesterday, and Maximus was he's being doing online Christian school now. He's not in traditional school, and so he really kind of hemmed and hawed about dressing up and going trick-or-treating. And I was like, listen, it's up to you. If you want to go, we'll go. If you don't, you don't. He goes, I don't know. I guess it's a little too late. I guess, I don't know. I don't feel like it or whatever. So I went and bought a whole bunch of his favorite candies that he would have loved getting.
Yeah.
And I made him his own trick-or-treat bag.
That's awesome.
And I had Todd bring him here to the office. And I was like, give me the trick-or-treat or smell my feet thing. And then I gave him his big bag of candy, and he was very excited. And then all he wanted to do was go bowling. So Todd was going back to the office to get some more stuff done. And so we went bowling, and, 3 games straight for an hour. My arm is
killing you.
Yeah. And I was like, I was bowling 140s last weekend. We just went last weekend too. I was bowling 140s last weekend. And I was sucking ass last night. Like my first game was a 70-something. And Maximus was looking at me going, Mom, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I can't get out of it. Right. And so I finally just kind of stretched out my arms and just kind of stretched and just kind of got my brain back into it. And so the second game, I was kind of back into my usual, and Maximus just completely swapped. I'm like, you're making some kind of goofy extra step. He goes, what am I doing wrong? He's getting all frustrated. And I'm like, okay. And then some watching, I'm like, you're doing some weird little extra step. I'm like, what are you doing? So it took a while for him to kind of recover from it. And so I told him, and then of course we went to Outback, his favorite.
Of course.
Very late. Yes. Yeah. Too late to be
I
eating.
know, right?
Too late
He's
to be
a
eating.
walking cow.
Yeah. So he so on the way there, I said, I just want to tell you, I'm really proud of you. I said, you recovered from your frustration way better than you have in the past.
He has little meltdowns, right?
Yeah, he did really good. I said, you did really good. I said, it's all about recognizing what you're doing wrong and then correcting it. I said, and you listened, you did really well. So it just, it turns out to be such a better night when your kids are able to recover from their frustration over not doing something the way they expected it to be.
Because he does have those. Yeah, I think it's interesting us sitting around the table that we're all 3 in somewhat different phases. And I don't know if your Halloween was different, but so was mine. So
yeah, it was different.
I'm empty nested now, going into my 3rd week. And my husband was at the fire station last night. So I was like, and last year we only had like 4 people at our door. So I was like,
really?
Yeah, it was just, we're not the hot neighborhood right now.
I'm going to just tell you what, you don't want to go to the hot neighborhood, because Maximus and I made that mistake last year, and we will never go to that neighborhood for Halloween ever, 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 ever again. And it's off of Hidden Creek. I can't think of the name of what that one is.
I know which one
they're
you're talking
rarely
about.
crowded.
I would never go to that. I'm parents. I'm telling you, do not go to that neighborhood. It's
Mountain Valley actually was really well.
It was insanity last year.
Yeah.
There were cars and what's the purpose of everybody going to one neighborhood? Spread
I don't know.
out.
Well, I hung out with friends in Fort Worth, in Fairmount last night with my young friends. Because we dressed up and had a Halloween costume party at the office. So I went to Becky Escher's house afterwards.
So real quick for the crowd that's listening, please tell them what you dressed up as last night.
Well, I was T-Pain, the rapper, but it was T-Pain, Payne, in my own interpretation of what I would be if I were a rapper. So, since they call me T-Pain at the office a lot, and, somebody thought that I was T-Pain who had gotten a DUI during my election, which they posted.
Well, they didn't think you were. They just were using a play on words, and it was funny.
I was like, not me. But so Becky and her husband, they just started this in 2020, is they have a crepe myrtle that's pretty close to their sidewalk. It's big. And they hung strings down with clothespins, and they hang the candy on there.
Oh.
And so during 2020, so that the kids could still get candy, and they've kept it up because the kids love it.
That's cool.
So we went and sat in their driveway, and you should have seen those. They just love going up there and getting it off the tree. I was like, so of course I'm like, look, it's a candy tree. It grows candy. Like, come back every day, you guys. There'll be candy on there.
That's a really cool idea.
But it was interesting. And my friend Leslie was there with her 2-year-old. And then they were all like, oh, you're going to be wanting grandkids soon. Of course, these are all my young friends. And I was like, no, I just empty nested. Thank you. I do not want to be a grandparent right now.
That's what we were doing. We were grandparenting. But, and it was the first time, like normally we go hang out at a friend's house where then the kids just run the neighborhood and Well, our kids are at that point. They're not doing anything either. Dalton brought his dog, Blue, the big German Shepherd / lab. Oh my gosh. Everybody's like, can I come and pet it? He was so good. I was so proud of him. But we followed the grandkids around Mountain Valley, and we didn't plan on it because I was like, let's just go say hi, take some pictures, and then go home. And then we ended up walking with them and
so
just chilling.
Like I said,
yeah,
just these different phases.
I know our other friends had invited us over to their house, but I was like, well, I'm going to definitely go see our grandkids. But we may come. But seriously, I just want to go home. I don't have to go do any of this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, yeah, I don't blame you. If y'all don't come over, let's get together soon. I was like, okay. And so then we ended up not coming over there. And so
I enjoy it. And Maximus is only 12. And, even our nephew who's 15, he dressed up as a banana last night. And
funny.
You know what?
Dalton did last year too. And
let your kids be kids as long as they want to be kids.
Someone made a crappy comment to him. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
last year I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we as adults have to remember. We have to remember to be kids too.
Well, that's what I texted a picture of myself to someone at the city, a friend of mine, and his costume was great.
All they did a Barbie. They did Barbie.
Yes, they did.
I saw it.
Okay, so I went and did really quick because we got 30 seconds. I went and did my registration for the Jeep yesterday, and then went and voted. The entire department was dressed as prison mates.
All the city departments did their own theme.
It was freaking awesome.
Yeah. Well, what I texted him when I said is, it's the one day we as adults can just be kids and be fools, and it's fun.
Go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it more than once.
I did it all weekend.
All right. We got great guests tomorrow morning. Be back to join us on Wellness Wednesday. God bless. Have a great day.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs,